to the Orlando World's Sunday Showdown round of 16. In this week's final episode in the round of 16, we put two popular attractions up against one another with a contest between Magic Kingdom's TTA Peoplemover and Animal Kingdom's Expedition Everest. Let's find out a bit more about both these attractions. The Tomorrowland Transit Authority Peoplemover, or TTA Peoplemover as it is more commonly known, is a futuristic mass transit system which takes you on a guided tour of the Tomorrowland area of Magic Kingdom. It opened on the 1st of July 1975, almost a decade after the original Peoplemover attraction opened at Disneyland in California. The attraction is a near 5,500-foot journey around the Tomorrowland area, which provides an amazing elevated panoramic view of some of the iconic areas of the park, and is currently one of only a handful of original attractions left from when the attraction opened, and is also the only ride at Magic Kingdom which still has corporate sponsorship. It's a fun, yet relaxing near 7 miles per hour journey which is suitable for those who want to rest in the shade while being entertained, and for those who enjoy photography and wish to snap some unique angled shots of the park. Expedition Everest is known as one of the mountain attractions within Walt Disney World. Standing at 199.5 feet tall, it's the tallest structure within the Disney resort, being just 6 inches taller than Tower of Terror at Hollywood Studios. It opened in 2006, at a cost of $100 million, at the time, the most expensive roller coaster ever built, until Hagrid's Magical Creatures motorbike adventure smashed the record in 2019 at $300 million. The attraction is a hypercoaster which features several switched tracks, with both forward and reverse sections of the towering attraction. It's similar to Thunder Mountain and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train in terms of theming and pace, but features an 80-foot drop. It's a fun attraction which takes you through the Himalayan mountains to the base of Mount Everest, in one of the most fun coaster rides in the Disney resort. Now let's head into this week's series of 5 rounds. Let's go to round 1. TTA Peoplemover was originally showcased as a mass transit system which would originally have been designed as part of Epcot, Walt Disney's visionary city of the future, which ultimately never came to be. The attraction goes back through the showcase, and gives you a narrated insight into that vision, as it takes you around the outskirts of Tomorrowland while you hear an educational history about what the plan was for the future of the Peoplemover. It was designed to fit in perfectly with Tomorrowland, pushing Walt's vision of the future, and tied in synchronously with other attractions at the Epcot park. It gives a decent backstory as you ride, and keeps you interested, giving a lot of useful information, which many people would find quite interesting. Expedition Everest, and a record-breaking attraction for both height and original construction costs, both of which have contributed to the immensely detailed ride. The ride is themed around the Himalayan Escapes travel agency, which is located in the fictional Circazong region at the foot of the Himalayan mountains. Expedition Everest takes riders on the treacherous journey through the mountains where they come face to face with the mythical creature known as the Yeti, which stands at over 25 feet tall, and was one of the most complex animatronics ever built for a Disney attraction. The attraction is themed so incredibly well, so much so, that even on a minuscule scale to the real mountain range, you are taken along for an immersive ride through a visually stunning route, taking you into the unknown heights of the mountain. It's fun and thrilling, and the theming and story draw you in, making it one of the most popular rides at Animal Kingdom. So in round 1, with just a little bit more theming on a much larger scale, Expedition Everest snatches the first point as we head on to the second round. TTA Peoplemover uses a linear synchronous motor system, and moves in a similar way to the Omnimover system. The guests board via a moving walkway and board one of over 32 vehicles. Each vehicle holds 20 passengers, seated in one of 5 cars joined together, with guests sitting in 2 rows of 2. This gives an incredible high capacity of 4,600 guests per hour, with an average ride cycle of around 640 riders able to enjoy the attraction at any one time, which is due to its continuous boarding system like the Peoplemover, keeping capacity at a maximum. Expedition Everest has a surprisingly good capacity for a coaster which has a few switch tracks in its layout. But with some clever seamless trickery from the ride animatronics and theming, it keeps the coaster moving almost continuously through the circuit. The ride operates with 6 trains, each with 6 cars. Each train has 17 rows, with riders seated in 2 in each row, for a total of 34 riders per train. That gives a total of 204 riders per each full ride cycle. This gives an average daily capacity of 1,800 riders per hour. Which means in round 2, quite easily, TTA Peoplemover levels the score as we move ahead now to the 3rd round. TTA Peoplemover has a fairly lengthy ride time for the type of attraction that it is. It travels just under 7 miles an hour, around the 5,484 feet of track, as it takes you around the external area of the Tomorrowland area of the park, providing an ever-changing vista, in one of the most stunning backdrops for an attraction anywhere within the Disney World resort. It operates with a very respectable 10 minutes duration, offering a varied amount of content, as you learn about various dioramas and how Progress City could develop, as you pass by the Tomorrowland Speedway, through a portion of Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin and Space Mountain, as well as providing stunning photo opportunities of Cinderella Castle, Space Mountain, and the soon-to-open Tron Lightcycle Run area. It is a fairly slow and uneventful ride, but it offers the opportunity to relax and enjoy the sights and sounds that Disney World has to offer. Expedition Everest runs at a fairly lengthy duration for a roller coaster ride. It was considered one of the first highly themed show coasters, featuring a number of unique elements which helped 59 raise the duration slightly. At 2 minutes and 50 seconds, Expedition Everest gives just enough time to take riders through a thrilling enough experience, adding to theming by speeding up the chase from the Yeti, but feeling long enough where it doesn't pass too quickly. So in round 3, TTA Peoplemover goes into the lead for the first time. Let's move on now to the penultimate round. TTA Peoplemover has been in operation for over 45 years, with several updates and refurbishments during that time, and having changed its name on a few occasions too. It's not the most must-see attraction at Disney World, but it certainly has gained a lot of popularity over the years from those who enjoy art and photography, being able to ride the attraction in hope of capturing the ultimate dream shot. It's also been fairly popular when the park has been at peak capacity, where guests are able to take a break from the busy park below, and have a quiet moment out of the crowds and the often hot and humid weather. It's a fun attraction to ride, which gives you the chance to enjoy stunning park views and a unique behind-the-scene peek into some of Tomorrowland's top attractions. The Expedition Everest Hypercoaster has always been considered one of the best and most popular attractions within Disney World. It was only the second ever Disney roller coaster which had backwards movements, after the Indiana Jones coaster attraction at Disneyland Paris, and also one of the only attractions within the resort to use switch tracks which both use forward and reverse movements. Expedition Everest is always near capacity, being an ever-popular attraction within the park, which has steadily begun adding more thrill rides over the years. But for popularity, the hypercoaster at Animal Kingdom takes the point to level the score for being a steady performer in the park as we head to the fifth and final round. TTA Peoplemover is by no means a thrill ride. With its pedestrian pace and lack of any real content to sink your teeth into, it won't always be the first attraction on many people's ride list. But that certainly doesn't take anything away from it, as what it does achieve is an overwhelming sense of what traditional Disney rides do. They offer a level of education and foresight, feeding the ever-enjoyable narrative that many guests have come to love about many Disney attractions. The ride is exciting enough where it provides a much-needed respite from the park, and gives the chance to capture an amazing one-of-a-kind photo opportunity, and giving a sneak peek at other attractions as you pass through them. It isn't a must-ride attraction, but it definitely deserves its place within the park, and helps to stay connected to the more traditional aspects of Disney's vision. Expedition Everest is a really fun and thrilling coaster ride. It's not the most intense ride, and is very similar to other family coasters in the Disney parks, like Thunder Mountain and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It does have the element of fear attached to it, as you expect to run into trouble along the way, while trying to avoid the dangerous Yeti in the mountains. The ride takes you to the peak of the mountain, where the track ends, almost tipping you over the edge of the 200-foot high ridge, before hurtling you back with incredible power as you roll mercilessly back down the forbidden tracks. It's a fun ride, with enough intensity and immersive elements to make this a very decent family thrill ride experience, and is testament to it being such a good ride. So in round 5, after a back and forth contest this week, Expedition Everest takes the final point to end the contest. So after all 5 rounds, we now do have a winner. So this does unfortunately mean that TTA Peoplemover misses out on the final place for the quarter-final round, as it leaves the competition at the round of 16 stage. TTA is a delightful and charming tram system which provides a glamorous look at everything that Tomorrowland has to offer, while keeping in touch with its more traditional Disney roots. It continues to evolve with the park, which is why it's still such an important part of the park, and why many enjoy what it offers. It will continue to provide the incredible views of the ever-changing Disney landscape for hopefully many more years to come. Expedition Everest advances to the next round. Join us next week for our special round of 16 recap episode to see which attractions will advance to the quarterfinals. See you next week. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please support us by subscribing to our channel. You can find us on social media platforms. Find us on Facebook and Twitter at Orlando Worlds, and on Instagram at the Orlando Worlds. Thanks for watching.